well to the seats and into the boat as well.
Baka nga may anaconda. Tingnan mo, parang...
Kaya nga
And everyone, today we're going to be seeing a variety of primates from all around the world. And during the winter months, these primates are housed in heated barns on the property, and that is because they are very sensitive to the cold. And unfortunately, the survival of many animals, especially the primates, is threatened by widespread habitat destruction, hunting, and the rapid acceleration of human encroachment on the remaining habitats. And sadly, if this trend does continue, it may only be through cooperative captive breeding efforts, and the species will ultimately survive through them. So just keep in mind the animals we view today are very rare and are slowly going endangered. Alright everyone, so you should all be looking to your right hand side because that's where we're going to get to see our first animal. There's going to be a couple of them on this island. So these are the ring-tailed lemurs, and the ring-tailed lemurs are native to Madagascar. And these guys also will travel in groups of 20 to 30 individuals. And that means that their group will be female dominated, rightfully so. And they also are the most striking in the lemur species because of that barred ringtail.
Lemurs.
Oh, and those little small ones over there, those ones are babies. Looks like they were hiding. I'll reverse a little bit. Alright, so we do have 3 babies. The first one was born on May 28th, and the twins we have were born on June 1st. And thankfully, these guys are finally leaving their moms alone. And the moms kind of have some alone time from them, but they mostly like to spend time with them. These guys are very social animals. And also, these guys will live 15 years in the wild, and in conservations like the African Lion Safari, they will live 30 years.
Wow!
Also, to the right hand, you're kind of gonna see another lemur over there. That one's the male.
Ah,
like
that's the male. The male.
So these guys also will huddle together, and that's their way of keeping warm, but it's also their way of bonding as well.
Hinahayaan na niya yung nanay.
Ibang tribo na yan.
Parang mahuhulog ang phone ko.
Oh my God, huwag mo sabihin. Dito, wala na, hindi mo na mahuhulog talaga. Sa labo nyo ng tubig.
Anaconda pa sa ilalim.
Alright, and to the right hand side, we're going to get to see 2 of our primates. These primates are our spider monkeys. The black one's name is Flip, and the brown one's name is Bieber. Now, our spider monkeys have specifically adapted for life in the trees, and they have a long and slender tail. And that tail actually acts as a 5th limb, and it has a little hairless patch at the tip of it that lets it to grow up the branches. These guys also don't have any thumbs. They only have 4 fingers. But again, surprisingly, that helps them move through the trees with speed and agility. And these guys also come from Mexico, Panama, and Ecuador. And should they display themselves in an aggressive manner, they can make the hairs on their tail base and shoulders and body stand up, making them appear larger in size. And also, what my favorite thing about these guys is these guys like to chase the Canadian geese off their island at the very end of the day. Also guys, I'm going to point out something. If you can kind of see like our game warden over there, you can see one gibbon behind the little shed on the next island to the right, okay? So I'm just pointing that out now because we probably won't be able to see that gibbon once we go around. Hopefully they're still out for us. The game warden is actually going to feed them, so we might get lucky enough to see that. It's always so cute because they just take it from her hand. She just sits in the middle of them. So hopefully we're gonna go get to see that.
Hotel is there. In the
Meron
wood.
daw.
In the wood.
Ayan,
There in the wood.
makikita mo yan.
Ay, malalabo ang mata nyo.
Nasa kahoy?
Oh, nasa kahoy. Oh.
Also, everyone, there's going to be a bird coming up to the right-hand side that's kind of going to be on the water's edge. That is a griffo heron. And the griffo heron will usually eat some snakes, rodents, and fish. We're probably scaring away his food right now, but that's okay. And this guy will also wade through the water very carefully with his featherless legs. And he is usually identifiable when he flies as he carries his neck in an S-shaped groove.
Di ba yun yung nagda-dive na kumakain ng mga fish?
Uwi na tayo.
Di ba? Iikot pa doon. Di ba?
Wala na yan.
Ayun o yung cable. Hindi na tayo doon pumunta.
Diba ho ang daan nito? Pabatangas ito.
Hindi, iikot pa.
Alright, so this island to the right-hand side, this is home to our black and white ruffed lemurs, if we're able to see them. They're most likely going to be in the opening of their shed, so we'll get to see when we go around. You're also going to notice that big bird over there. That big bird is Pinky to, again, right-hand side on the island. And Pinky is a pelican. He is a pink-backed pelican. And this guy is actually owned by African Lion Safari, and he loves his diet of fish that he'll swallow whole, letting the water fall away from his mouth. Also, you can see our game warden to the left-hand side feeding our gibbons right now. We'll get a closer look in just a sec. Also, if you guys look to the right, you can also see our black and white ruffed lemurs, like I was telling you about earlier. And the black and white ruffed lemurs also come from the island of Madagascar. These guys will also have a very loud alarm call, and it kind of sounds like they're fighting, but they're
So
not, just they talk.
cute.
And these guys also will hang upside down when indulging in their diet of fruit, leaves, and nectar. And they're kind of out right now because they know the game warden's going to come to their island next and give them food. They've been sleeping all day, other than that. Pretty lazy.
Lazy.
And you're still going to be able to see them when I turn, but they're just going to be to your left-hand side inside. So I'm going to turn so we can see the gibbons, but they'll still be to the left once I do turn. And the two gibbons you see, their names are Alfonso and Gina, and they are a monogamous pair, and that means they're like a married couple. So they will actually travel in monogamous pairs in the wild as well, and sometimes they'll have a baby. Now, these guys belong to a group of primates known as the lesser apes, and they are native to Southeast Asia, and they can vary in color from light beige to black, and with white rings around their faces, and white hands and feet. And with their hook-like hands and short thumbs, long arms, and little bodies, and no tails, they've adapted very differently to the spider monkeys from life in the trees. And these guys also will walk with their arms raised above their heads, and that's because they lack the proper balance to walk correctly as they're so used to life in the trees. And the two of them are also noted for their very And in just a second, guys, we're gonna head back towards the docking area as well. And when we are doing that, just please remain seated. And I just ask that because it is a bump dock. I have to bump in order to stop the boat. I don't want anyone getting hurt because of that. So please remain seated. And also, everyone, just please watch your step when you are exiting, just because it is gonna be a bit of a height difference between the dock and the boat. So just keep that in mind. And everyone, also